morning. Welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show on this beautiful Wednesday morning after our presidential election runoff in Liberia. Today, November 15, 2023. What's happening in Liberia? We learned a lot yesterday. We'll talk about that after I talk with my correspondent in Liberia. Yesterday was a learning field day for us. We learned about the strength of the Liberian people, their determination to have their lives changed, and their zeal to see our nation with the new president. Whether it's George Weah's second term, of Joseph Boakai's first term. We'll see. Let's go to Liberia and talk with Mr. Samuel Worker, my correspondent. He's waiting. Sam, what's up?
Hey, Roy, good morning.
Oh, brother, my brother. What's up in Liberia, man?
Yesterday was this pool. He tested it yesterday. The country was so hot yesterday.
Yeah.
And praise God, there was no rain.
So how is the morning?
Well, it's kind of quiet. Is that Yaga Koliba in District 10 celebrating a pre-victory? And he said it's a call to seditions because they started last night and police never bothered them. So
he started.
Yeah, CDC was all in the street last night. District 8, District 10, 9, all stuff. So today now he said day has broken. Let the police see me. I will celebrate too. So police, the Minister of Justice, they won't bother them. Nobody arresting them because
what are they doing?
Celebrating, victory.
They're all in the street?
They're all in the streets around District 10, the Congo time end.
They block the streets and everything?
No, they just marching all along the road, the boulevard.
So what's your opinion of the race yesterday?
Well, yesterday's election was kind of low turnout, and it was very low turnout across the country. It was reported that the turnout was so low. Though it was some areas peaceful, but most of the areas were marred by violence. Violence erupted in a lot of polling places across the country.
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, though it was not that tense.
Yeah, they didn't disrupt any of the processes.
No, yeah, police had to put it under control.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they always got to pay our respect to our police,
Yeah, police did well anyway. Though among them, according to some people, some parties, the party, they were saying that some of the police were partisan police, so they manhandled some people.
What do you mean by
unlawful?
They were on the government side or on the party?
Yeah, supporting the government side, and when citizens are in the wrong, they don't bother them. But when the party members are in the wrong, they will handle them and put under control, subdue them. I saw one incident where the police was stepping on his little boy, on his head, beat him, and people were crying, so the boy is dead. But up to now, we have not heard anything of such that somebody died yesterday.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So everything peaceful in the city, sir? Go ahead.
Everything peaceful, but coming from Maryland County, it was surprising, it was shocking to know that CDC imposed a curfew on the city of Harper in southeastern Liberia.
Harper went
with
crazy.
The Minister of Justice, with the John Security saying nothing about it. So they start and allow cities to have a day. So nobody could come outside last night. They said about 10 o'clock, but about 8, 9 people all the street. Yes, CDC imposed curfew. It reminds me of the war days.
What?
Anybody can just come and say nobody passed here.
Did they impose a curfew because the people were acting up, or because CDC wanted to take charge of the city?
Because CDC want to show that they're in power.
So they made everybody
they made everybody went home so early, or the bed so early. And confusion started early confusion started doing the voting with Senator Bounty and some police officers, but it didn't go far anyway. Things were under control. But lately, even since they announced in the local area, there will be curfew and nobody should temper, nobody should venture in the streets. So, but
When
the party didn't want any problem, so they had to leave the street.
So when the CDCs were in the street,
Only citizens were in the street.
partying,
And
but
they enjoyed themselves.
it wasn't official. It wasn't. It didn't come from the government.
It wasn't official. John Security Night announcing a curfew.
Okay, so people.
So these are kind of
yeah. So that just showed that in Maryland, there are majority CDCs, right?
Yeah. From the Talish we got a majority of CDC. In fact, the entire Southeast in majority.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
Or the 6 counties, yeah.
But he didn't do well in Bung, Nimba.
No, the entire Western region did not do well. It didn't do well in Nimba, in Monserrado again, second time around. Unity Party is stopping Monserrado County.
People been sending me all kind of results. I was sitting there looking at them. I could see where in the small counties he won big. Then in the big counties, in the real counties, they blew him away.
Somebody was saying, in fact, the 6 counties, Nima can swallow all of them with some change left. So even if they vote 100%, I mean, it doesn't matter. They cannot reach Nima. And the first popular county, Monserrado, Unity Party is in the lead.
Wow.
In great lead, yeah.
So what you view?
Well, from what I'm seeing, if the trend continues as it is, I mean, we got a new president. Joseph Boakai. If it continues as it is now, but next is coming out, or this is about 4 o'clock to begin official results announcement.
Yeah, so it depends on that. It doesn't depend on what anybody says. We just within a year now. All the tallying, everything, it doesn't matter. Where did we are when?
Yeah, but what encouraging news coming from the U.S. Embassy will learn that the U.S. invited or senior NEC official in their own war room. So next time one person, I mean, some of the political parties send their representative there. So they too got a target sheet. The U.S. Embassy, or you say it also.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I mean, they have to compare with NEC.
America said, even though we sanction people, we can't tell you what to do.
No, it's true. Yes.
America can't play double games with us. I don't care what America got to say. I won't listen to what NEC got to say.
Mm-hmm.
America is not paying NEC officials. That's all we are. Okay?
No, America is spending good money on NEC. America spend millions of dollars on NEC.
But they pay that.
And to control elections.
They pay come from the Liberian government. The money
even the salary all come from the donor money that is being given them.
It goes to the government.
EU give money.
It goes to the government.
Through the government.
So what are you talking? So what are you talking? It goes to the government.
No, I'm saying, I'm saying, it goes to the government.
Minister of Finance gave her money.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you
arguing? It's true. No, I'm not arguing. I'm just supporting you. I'm buttressing what you're saying.
Yeah, because I'm talking the Ministry of Finance got to give money. You talking it coming to the donor fund and all that. It doesn't matter. Stand to us, take out the son, I check to give it to her.
It's true.
And the same problem we have with government. All the donation coming in, you say, they person giving money, and the money coming to the government of Liberia. It's not going to David Badger Bond. It's not going to NEC. It's going to the government of Liberia. And that's the Liberian government will distribute the money to the people.
Right.
So all that, you got to be careful what you're talking now. You just talk. Oh, that donor fund. Then when you come, no donor fund. That what the donor fund? Oh, what the government supposed to be giving it? That the step you miss. All the donor fund goes to the Liberian government. It will not come to the individual. That's our responsibility to make sure the Liberian government conforms to the purpose for which the money is given to them. Yes, you have to grow up now. Everybody go, oh, donor fund. That's why when I went to Liberia 7 years ago, I was sick. I want to leave Liberia because everybody was talking about that international community. That all I could hear, man. Everybody sit down with donor fund, international. That was a beggar nation. You people were beggars. I was like, everybody sit down when they talking about donor fund, international community. Nobody talking about what the country got. The whole damn country nothing but beggars. All my friends who are government officials, they're sitting down with me. They only talk about the international community. That's all I heard, international community. I asked some of them, I said, are you people leaders of this country? Where you're coming from the international community mentality? You already believe that you'll benefit from that? I mean, you got to get out of that stuff, man. That's the second thing you got to get off. You got to understand that Liberians got to build Liberia, not international community, not donor funds. What the fuck? Excuse my French. Yeah, man, Sam, I get tired with that, man. Everybody got a donor fund, international community. How our country can grow. How our country grow. Everybody beggars. Everybody beggars. That is sign of beggars. How our international community change our country? They can't change our country. We gotta change our country. But people don't like to hear the truth, Sam. But you're not the only one. But this is something for the educated people. That all the educated people talk about donor fund, international community. This we can't live like that, my people. That's beggars. We are losers. That's loser people. When you hear people talking that Santa, I can't get involved with Liberia. Because when you want raise the mentality of the people to be self-sufficient and reliant, and everybody talking about donor fund, the very people you depending on to join you are the very people that are weak-minded. They won't steal. When you people talking about donor fund, that's corruption. That all you want to do is steal. You know our country, they get all of your donor fund, all that money will disappear overnight. When I hear my people talking about donor fund, international community, my mind just go to corruption. I just see the big C. Hey, you know that girl, what is the formula? The big C. I see the big C, corruption. I see now you start talking about international community and donor fund. I see the big C, corruption. Man, it makes me sick. How we build our country? We can't build our country like that, Sam. Everybody depends on. True. What if we didn't have donor funds? What if war? We got war right now, but it's not that bad yet because we still got food going around. But if this war get bad, these two wars get bad in the world, people will start losing things. If Russia started adding more into Ukraine, coming in more into Western Europe, it's going to be tough. We're looking at World War III. People fighting for resources, Sam. And more the world, we got more people than anybody. We got the way I look at the world now, I just see also a few rich, greedy men. Rich, greedy as hell. And they need to be blown away. I just see few rich, greedy families. Got families, about 300 families, greedy. And they got the rest of it. It's not right. It's not only in America, they're in Russia, they're in China, the 300 families. in the world. They got few in Africa too. They're the one robbing all of us. We can't die for these people. We can't die for these people, man. But the change got to start with us. To understand our situation in this world. To understand what we think. You think every shit just end with start with our late election in Liberia, our late corruption in Liberia just end there? It's not ending there. But for us to join the greater conversation of the world, we got to fix our little nest, which is all broken up, and got people confused mentalities, donor funds, international community. We can't help us. You got to get out of that mentality. We got to work for what we want. We got to go to the soil. We got to build our country. We got to make sure our leaders are honest. Look at our country right now. Our country is a banana republic. Our government they just steal and we accept it. Everybody go there, we accept that it was steal. What kind of people are we? How can you live like that? Your government coming to power, you expect that they will steal from you, and you will not do nothing about it. So how can I come back to Liberia? It pisses me off. People can't just steal my hard-earned money I work for, and I say, "Oh, let it stay." Hell to hell with that. I'm not a for peace sake man. I work hard for my living. How you just come and take my stuff and expect for me to say for peace sake? And that will go on in our country, and you don't even know it. You're talking about donor fund, and the people right in our country stealing from you, talking about for peace sake, and you're saying yes. And your own stuff, they're stealing it from you. And the people coming in your house, stealing your children, your food, your daily bread. But now what they're doing? Riding the best cars that they never had before, that their pa and mom could never buy for them before. All of a sudden they're riding there doing that. What do you think they're doing to us? They're slapping us in the faces and telling us your favorite donor fund. We got it. We enjoy it. And it doesn't matter when this thing started. It doesn't matter if it started during Joseph King, J.J. Rowell time. It got to stop. It's not right. We got to wake up. That petty living. When people steal from us, and we hope that one day we will have the opportunity to steal too. And we push for ourselves to go there to steal too. That mediocre living, man. That gangster shit. That low down, dirty lives. We deserve better lives than that. You know, we should aspire to greatness, not to low lives. Shit. Yeah, excuse me talking like that, man, but when I get down to the nitty-gritty ghetto stuff, you got to hear some shit and all of them slipping from my mouth. Because it's painful. It's painful. When you want to elevate people to another lifestyle, and all the thing about is mediocre stuff, stealing, donor fund, begging. No, Sam, that low life, man. You got to aspire to greatness. We got to work for something, man. We got to work to change our country. How you think the people build America? Yeah, they build it all black people sweat. But there were also poor white people that contributed to building America. Chinese, different people that built this country. You know, Atlanta today, people realize in this nation that to be here, you got to make a contribution. To have a say, you got to have a contribution. The same thing in our country. People can just sit down and live lives and don't think they got to make contribution. But this is where we stand. You know, when it comes to voting and all these kind of things, we got to change our lives, man. And, you know, you got to understand too, Sam, that donor fund, that international fund, that begging.
Mm-hmm.
That's begging. And the more we beg these people, the more they understand that our mentality is enslaved, that we cannot live without begging. But we don't know it's begging. We think that's a way of life. It's not a way of life. You don't see Americans coming to Liberia and say, "Yo, get a donor fund and get all of that." No, because they realize that for them to be great, they got to be self-sufficient. You cannot be great without being self-sufficient. How you be great? First, you got to learn to feed your people. All of us in Liberia got to learn about farming, got to learn about home economics. We got to learn how to feed ourselves. Once we go from there, then we learn to protect ourselves. But you can't leave one and do the other. All of them got to be done simultaneously. Because at the same time you grow your food and think people can attack you and take your food. People will not let you grow your food in peace. People want food. They can invade your country and steal your food. What do you think they do in Ukraine? Ukraine supplies most of the world with grains. That's an important country for feeding the world. And people invading the way they're doing, taking their food. You think they would ask them to buy it? No, they would just take it, take all their greens and everything. The soldiers would invade it and eat it. But this is what happens. This is what happens. You don't plan for yourself. When you are a banana republic, with only leaders that are there to steal for themselves. Look at our country. All the leaders, all the schools, not for the country, the schools for Prince Johnson and Sir Joseph and David Benanayure, and all the schools.
And Thomas Farah.
Yeah, all the transportation company for Sir Joseph, for things that our country should own. The people took it for themselves. Well, what kind of shit is that? Excuse my French. You see what I told? When I get deep into these things, my words slip. Because some of these things are painful, Sam. It's painful. When you see our poor people suffering, and when one group of people continue to steal and think they can just lie and lie and lie. That's why I don't want to get involved with all of that. I just like to deal with the education part about it. You know, I don't like to get involved with the individuals involved, you know, because who you catch when the whole country is corrupt? Our whole country got a problem. You go catch Peter, Paul would do the same thing. You go catch Paul, John would do the same thing. Until we learn to structure our country and governance system where people will stand up with integrity, our country will not all of that. We got to have a format for Liberia, how our country will run, how we'll govern our country. And it's true, we can't have a big government like this. I keep talking it all around. People can't just wake up every morning and have children and say, oh, the government will take care of the children. Everybody got a check from the government. We can't do that. That's not a welfare state. If it's got to be a welfare state, then all of us got to work towards making it a welfare state. Okay, Sam, make your closing limit to my class for this morning.
Yeah, about 4 o'clock, NEC will be announcing future results. So I mean, we will be waiting for NEC, and we advise everybody not to celebrate like what you guys doing. You know, the party, stop the celebration and let's wait for the official result. You know, because these are the kind of things that are going to bring confusion. And so we talking to the guys, calling them and to calm down and wait for the official result. Because you know, the party being a mature party, according to them. And so you got to exhibit that sense of maturity and wait for the official result. But I want to say thank you to all Liberians, and you know, for the elections. I mean, there was no serious case of violence or so, but it was well done. I must say thank you.
Okay, Sam.
And thank you too for encouraging us to be more vigilant.
Thank you, Sam.
Election is over. Yeah.
Okay. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Yes.
You do.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I want to join Sam Wicker, my correspondent, in thanking the Liberian people for first of all being mature. When I say mature, I'm talking about patriotic, knowing your constitutional responsibilities to ensure that election be a process that is central and center to our democracy, to our leadership structure. So I want to thank you for being mature. I want to thank you for being tolerant. Yesterday could have blown up into a massive violent situation. Yes, we had a petty violent situation here and there, but the Liberian people remain steadfast in your duties to ensure that this electoral process commenced and end in peace. And also, finally, for your peaceful attitudes, behaviors, actions. We know there will always be overzealous people in every crowd, and sometimes the police need to be called to subdue them and maintain peace. But all in all, our country is peaceful. We had no massive shooting or killing or violence, and God bless you. We wait for the result now because we want to see a change in our country. Okay? I don't get involved with the politics or the election too much. I'm here to educate you. So let's look at this whole electoral process. What have we learned, especially from this election? You know, I've been monitoring all the counties. People have been sending me things in my staff in Liberia, and I've been reviewing it. And of the things I see that we learn one about patriotism. Right now, by what I've seen, we are beginning to understand that for our country to elevate, to move from one state of poorness to a better state of existence, we have to be patriots. We have to understand our duties to our country, our loyalty to our nation, our laws, then our leaders. But we got to understand those things and demonstrate them by protecting them. We saw yesterday how people stood up against the violent people, against the rogues and thieves and the gangsters. People stood up to them. And that is commendable. Okay? They called the police. They arrested them, kept them there, and called the police. Okay? And these things are commendable for maintaining peace and stability. I want to thank the Liberian police. Through all this process, they have done tremendously well in maintaining the peace, enforcing the laws. There will be bad apples in every organization. People think they can take the law into their hands or they get overzealous because of the power that their position gave them. But be it as it may, the law enforcement officers of Liberia are beginning to understand their responsibilities and duties to the Liberian people. We are to serve our people. We protect our people. If we can't do that, who else will do that? Who else will protect the system that we so love in our country? If we can't do that, if our police men and women cannot stand up for what they believe in, for what they have sworn to serve and protect. These are responsibilities. Responsibilities and duties that flow from our Constitution. So we must thank them. And they did a good job. And when we understand more and more our duties and responsibilities, it leads us to the second thing that we've learned from this election. When we are patriotic in our efforts to obey the law, to protect our nation, to ensure equality and justice in our country, it brings us closer to unity. That was the second thing we saw in this election. Okay? In spite of everybody having their parties and different things, people stood up for justice. People stood up for right. People called the police when there were wrongdoing. Bless us, there were no gang violence. There were no tribalism among us. People didn't bring the devil out here and there to make confusion. Everywhere we turned, there were signs of jubilation, that people were happy that they had the opportunity to vote. Okay? It wasn't peaceful everywhere, but everything concluded peacefully. So that brought us closer together. Okay? Despite the fact that we have different political entities, Liberian people as a whole came together to maintain this election process so all of us can see an end to our efforts for our children and our future. If you listen to everybody was talking, I got to take care of my children's future. This is for my children's future. Because they're coming to realize now that in Union Strong, success is sure. Our national anthem, our forefathers taught about all these moments that when we come together, we'll be strong and we cannot fail. So we see the unity in our country. We didn't have no war. Some people didn't want to hear about division and separation and tribe. No, some people didn't want to hear that. People want to change. And in the midst of all of that, Liberians stood up for commitment, for discipline, for duties, fulfilling their duties. Liberians stood up for that. You heard on the video where one of the poor workers was saying that when he got there, the other poor workers were drunk. They had been drinking. Some people were working for the NEC, were drunk and all of that. And he went and chastised them. And they were fussing, and he went and called the supervisor and all of that. That's another sign of Liberians standing up for good governance. Good governance. You can't drink on the job. You can't commit to a responsibility to handle duties for the Liberian people. Then you leave it and go sit in a shop and get drunk and say, oh, yeah, let the thing run. If you knew you couldn't do it, why you took it? If you took it only for money, then you should be dismissed and punished. But when we commit to something, when we say we will do this, we take money for it, or we sign paper or make promises, we got to fulfill it. We got to fulfill it or be punished. Now, that video, there's a video on my show with this, on my page, on Facebook, with this young man during the election. He was a poll washer or something, or one of the supervisors. He came in and saw all these people drunk or drinking in the shop, and he told them, you guys can't do this. You guys are poor washers. You guys are neck officials. You can't be drinking on a job. It's not good. You lose your composure, your senses. You make terrible errors. You destroy the process. You commit national security errors. That's election. You can't play with those kind of things. And that's why we need good supervisors. People who really understand their responsibilities to check on other people and don't care how the people feel, care about your responsibilities to make sure you fulfill your job. Make sure your job is successful and praiseworthy. Not only successful, praiseworthy. Elevate it. But you can't elevate it when you got people on your staff that are indisciplined. You train them one way, then they come on the job and behave another way. And you, as a supervisor of a team of people, you should know that whatever your team does, it reflects on you. It reflects on your leadership. So when you're running a team or you're working with other people that are working to see a successful end to any program or any effort, you got to be one of the people to stand up as leaders, because you are all leaders. You are all leaders, despite the fact that you have one team leader who is in charge of the whole team. But you are all leaders in the fact that you must ensure that everybody work together on the same page, in the same vein, to achieve the same effort. Okay? So if we all go to train and we are trained in one way and we come to do the work and you notice some people are doing things that are harmful or you all didn't train towards, that will bring shame. You know, if somebody, you see, you go to do a work and you see certain people drinking, you know there can't be no good result with that. It will impair the judgment, the service, the behavior, all those things. Your team will never win. It will cause problem for you. It will cause errors, mistakes, irreversible. You can't reverse them. They're bad. So that's why discipline is significant in a team. For any team to work, for any group of organization to achieve where it wants to achieve. So we saw that yesterday too. We saw that Liberians standing up to ensure that other Liberians behave in accordance with their training, with their commitment, with their promise, with their job obligation and responsibilities. You got to do that. You can't say, I will leave it for my supervisor. No, you can't say that. You don't have to be the supervisor to speak up when you see something is going wrong that will impact your personal efforts and achievement. You can't do that. So if you were a team and you're working with a group of people and you people train in a certain way to achieve a certain objective, and you're going a job to do this job together as a team, and you realize that certain people on the team are not behaving according to the way you're trained, or in ways that will bring disparagement, despair, disrespect, and failure to the team. You can't keep quiet. You can't, because it will affect you too. And if it will affect you, you got to say something. You got to let somebody know somebody doing something that's not right. And these are the things that make everything better in a group, in a society, in a nation, when people stand up against wrong, against evil, against things that will bring despair, disrespect to the organization. Okay, nothing good. So that was the second thing we learned. Okay, and Liberians, because of all those things, man, we learn self-restraint. What is that? That means you got to maintain yourself in a certain way as to demonstrate civil action, peaceful behavior, law-abiding ways, self-restraint. Okay? Things will make you mad. Things you will see you don't like. Things you don't want to accept. But you don't rush to judgment. Just because you see something, you say, oh, there's a way. No, no, no. Before you make a decision, you investigate. You find the people who running the thing, the superior. Ask questions. Be informed before you act. Self-restraint. Think about the consequences of your actions. If I do this, what will happen to me? You see, Liberians demonstrated that yesterday too. Some people were mad. You saw the video I put up there. Some people were pissed off that there were pre-marked ballots. And there were other people trying to push those ballots around. They were mad. They could have broken up in fights. But instead of that, they called the police. They pointed it out. So all those things are good aspects of our democracy. And there were things we saw yesterday too. So yes, there were some things that may have disturbed us. But there were many things too that we could learn from yesterday. And, I listened to some other people talking about how people acted mature and all of that too. How people, they enjoy the whole scene. Liberians were peaceful and all that. But these are aspects of things that made them peaceful. Their patriotism. Everybody wanted to see the election go on. Okay? Despite the different feelings and parties, arguments and disagreements and stuff, all Liberian people, majority of the Liberian people, wanted that election to go on because that's our constitutional duties, to do that election. Patriotism. Everybody in Liberia were united in maintaining the peace, in being law-abiding. Yes, we had sprites of violence here and there, but because majority of the people of Liberia supported the process succeeded. We are at peace this morning. We're still waiting the results. Liberians are practicing self-restraint. Yeah, the police, like you said, the police could have gone out there and arrested them, or the Ministry of Justice said, no, they're not doing that. They're not going to arrest and look at our party, let's do what they want to do. That's not their intention to go after people. Okay? So all these things we learn it. It comes slowly. We've had 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is the fourth election, right? Since Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She did 2 terms, yes. So we had 3 terms. Now this is the fourth election. Okay? We have had election before, but 4 election in succession gives us the maturity of learning the process, give us an understanding of where we could do better in the process. What we learned from the past election, we can't repeat in the next election. What we learned in the past election, we got to fix. Okay, we know now with the biometric process, you got to have computers. You got to have lights. You got to have internet connectivity if you got to use that kind of system. That's the system for advanced nations. It's good. It's very good. But it deals with internet connectivity everywhere so you can have simultaneous results. coming out at the same time all over the country, not only in one area. So these are the things that matter for all of us. Okay? And when we can do that, we know the mistakes now. We know what we need to do that now. Do we have that for the next election? Will that be provided in Liberia for them? Will our country have electricity? Will we have internet connectivity throughout the country? Okay? All those things are necessary if we must change our system. Okay? So, where do we stand? Where are we going? Okay? The more we do this process, the more we learn. The better we become. The more we understand that we got to maintain ourselves and our laws for these systems to work. We are Liberian people gotta be patriotic. Okay? So those are some of the things we learn. Patriotism, unity among the Liberian people, discipline. We can't do anything and be successful without discipline. For our country to move forward, we gotta be prepared to accept every situation that we as a people must follow to make our country better, to make our lives better. We can't want to get to one place in our lives and still carry the baggages from our past. So there are many things we got to do to restructure our country. People can't be getting $15,000, $20,000, $5,000 a month. No. That's depleting our resources. Depleting our resources. The very same people who pay that are the same people who want to eat the food, the very food government sharing. They want to sleep in government houses. They want to do everything government got free. No, we can't do it like that. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Our government officials can't be there to better government for themselves. No, that's not what we're doing. And that's what happened in our country now. Look at our country. All the government officials got the best lives. They got the best lives in our country. Our people are just slaves to them. That's not what our country is for. And we got to change all of that if we love our country, if we love our people, if we care about our future. Everybody who voted yesterday was saying, I care for my children's future. I care for my... Yes, that's what voting is all about. Caring for your children's future, caring for our country's future, caring for our future. That's all it's about. What's going to be left? Will our country survive, man? So these are things we got to be thankful for seeing. That we're seeing our people elevating their lives. George, we are not doing it for you, my people. The Liberian people are doing it ourselves. My show, all the other shows, the shows in Liberia, we, the Liberian people, are elevating our lives. And we must be thankful to ourselves and to God. We are elevating our lives. Our leaders not doing it. All they're doing is stealing from us, trying to elevate their lives instead of our lives. But now that our eyes are open, we must revert to our old stand from 1980, to our revolutionary zeal. We must go back to our 1980 revolution and start from there. Where Liberian people were one in our ideals to change our country. We are one in our ideas to make Liberia better. We are one in our ideas to see our country move forward. Whichever way the wind blew there that took off that course, it's time for us now to put our revolution back on that course. Okay, I suffered from it. I was a victim of the revolution, but I understood that for all of us to elevate our country and our lives to a better state, I can't be selfish. I gotta eat it and join the struggle. I gotta bite the bitter pill because things were not right. Things were not going right for our people. But it's still not going right, man, because we took one group of people out and put their brothers in, and they're doing the same thing. It's not right. They derailed our revolution because of greed, corruption, nepotism, tribalism, and witchcraft. The time to put our country back together is now. Are you ready? The time of the Liberian people is now. Aluta! Continua. My class is done. We await the result of our 2023 presidential election. I want to thank Liberian people again for being mature, peaceful, tolerant, self-restraint, and all that good stuff that made yesterday a peaceful and successful day. In the cause of the people, the struggle continue. My class is done. I'll see you tomorrow. We await the results, the final result, and I wish our nation remains peaceful. Have a good day, my people. I'll see you tomorrow.